Hey friends. So I'm welcoming you to a super short little like story time snippet here on Super Real Human. Because I can't believe that I haven't shared the story with you because I think it was like one of those moments where I'm like, oh my God, this is so exciting. I don't know how to talk about it. So I'm just going to talk about it because in my last episode where we talked about what to do when things aren't vibing with your client, um, I referred to the let them theory, right? I kind of said it's one of those things you just have to let them, you got to let it, right? Sometimes you just gotta let that shit go. Anyway, I think it goes without saying, but maybe it doesn't. I am a huge Mel Robbins fan. Love her work. Think, good God, we need it in this world, and so grateful that it's here. So, super grateful for her and appreciate all she does. Cool. So let's rewind a little bit. Um, Dropped my daughter off for her freshman year at UVM up in Burlington, and scrolling through the internets, realized that I got back home and was, looking through Instagram or whatever. And one of Mel's posts was a post of dropping her son off at college. And I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, God, that looks like Emma's dorm room. And so then I'm like, that would be so cool. How I didn't know this already, I don't know. But anyway, reading the post, this was from a year or two ago, and it was dropping her son off for his freshman year at UVM. And I was like, what? So of course I'm like, Emma, OMG. I'm like, you go to school with Mel's kid. Anyway, fast forward to Parents Weekend. Not that I've forgotten about it, but like, I'm like, yep, great. Like, she's a normal human, right? Her kid goes to school here. Like, all of us moms are in the same, woohoo, same boat, same club. So we go to the soccer game for Parents Weekend. We're all sitting there, and all of a sudden, my two daughters are like, I'm surrounded by them, and they're like whispering around me. One's whispering to Darren, and and they're giggling and they're laughing, and Maddie's looking at her phone, and I'm like, what is going on? And Maddie's like, Mom, if I tell you something, you can't make a scene. And I was like, me make a scene? Come on, please. Who do you think okay, fine. I won't make a scene. What? And she goes, I just want to let you know that at like 1:30, 2:00, Mel Robbins is here. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? She was like, right over there. And I was like, she's like, but don't look. And I was like, what do you mean don't look? You can't tell me this and then tell me not to look. Anyway, so we watched the game. No scenes, just carry on, do my thing. And as we're getting up to leave, we're literally in like the sections next to each other. So, you walk down stadium stairs and there's the railing and two lines on either side. So we're exiting after the soccer game. Go Cats. And I end up next to Mel Robbins on the stairs. And we're stopped side by side. Now, calmly, as best I can, to not fangirl in front of my children and embarrass them, I just looked over, I reached over, I touched her arm, and I said, I just want to say thank you. I want to thank you for your work. And she was just as you would imagine. I mean, the kindest, warmest woman. I mean, she was like, oh my God, thank you for listening, blah, blah, blah. Do you have a child here? And Emma's behind me, and I'm like freezing. And Emma's behind me like, hey, that's me. I'm the one who goes here. And so I said, yeah, my daughter Emma, she's a freshman. And so she starts engaging with Emma, and then Maddie had turned around and come back up the stairs. And I said, this is my other daughter, Maddie. She goes to, U Miami. And so she was just delightful chatting with the girls. Darren is standing like 10 feet behind, giggling at us. Mel was just so kind. She was like, happy to take a picture if you girls want. And so Maddie at the ready, I mean, this girl like whips it out, takes a great selfie. It was just the nicest conversation. Like, she didn't have to stop. She could have been like, yep, thanks, you're welcome, toodles. But she was just so kind. And it was just one of those things where like you have this expectation of a person that you listen to their podcast religiously, you read their books, you really just love their vibe. And yeah, so it was really freaking cool. And I have pictures. And so the funniest part about this was that Madeline, I gotta find this picture because it's kind of the best thing ever. Here we go. All right, so the best part was that Maddie posted two of the most perfect posts to her private Snap stories. And okay, I'm going to see if I can show this, right? So there's the first one. And it says, found Mel Robbins and her fam at the soccer game. And when Mara started fangirling, Darren said, if they want to watch the soccer game, just let them. The next photo in the Snap story is the selfie right here, right? And like my hat is totally hiding my face. And Emma's popping up over the top. Darren's in the background just laughing. And it says, and then Mara said, let me start a conversation. And I was like, yeah, that was perfect. That was the perfect way to capture it. And of course, Maddie's like, could you just clear with us before you post anything? And I was like, dude, now mind you, I didn't post anything about it, but I'm just sharing it with you all because it was a fantastic freaking like cherry on top of the Parents Weekend Sunday of getting to see Emma in her first Parents Weekend, getting Maddie up here from Florida to surprise Emma at her first Parents Weekend and getting to spend that time together when I was seriously having some, I miss my girls, first time empty nester, moments. So I wanted to share that with you guys because it's, I don't know, just a great story. It's a light little story. Some great social media prowess by my oldest child. But it was really just an example of do it, right? Let her enjoy. Of course, not going to stand in the way of that, but also let me be brave and let me do the thing. Because if I walked away and didn't say anything, I would have kicked myself the whole way back from Burlington. But also just a reminder to give people their space, right? And even when you're fangirling, try to be as non-obtrusive and nonchalant as possible. Like, I've known you forever. Great work. Whatevs, right? Whatever it takes. But Mel, not that you're listening to Super Real Human. I mean, maybe you are, and that's fantastic. But thank you. Thank you for just being you and being a super real, awesome human in real life as well as in all of your media. So, all right, just wanted to share that. And if anyone was ever curious what Mel Robbins is like in person, perfect. All the good stuff, everything you can imagine. So anyway, you guys have a great day and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.